did that really just happen? A quiet notification, a Billboard update, and suddenly history was made. Not with fireworks, not with a viral controversy, but with something much rarer: consistency, artistry, and heart. Jimin, once simply known as the angelic dancer of BTS, just became the first and only K-pop solo artist to ever spend 100 cumulative weeks on the Billboard World Albums chart. Let that sink in for a second. 100 weeks. That's nearly 2 full years of his solo music standing tall on one of the most competitive music charts in the world. Not as part of BTS, not as a feature, but on his own. And the journey to this moment, it didn't come overnight. It started with Face. When Face dropped, it wasn't just a debut, it was a declaration. Vulnerable, raw, and deeply human, Jimin didn't just perform songs, he poured out stories. Stories of doubt, of growth, of longing. The kind of honesty that doesn't always top charts. But somehow, he did both. That album stayed on the Billboard World Albums chart for an astonishing 63 weeks, over a year of global fans pressing play over and over again. Not out of hype, but out of connection. Then came Muse. More mature, more experimental, and somehow even more personal, Muse wasn't just a follow-up, it was an evolution, and it hit just as hard. It's now spent 37 consecutive weeks in the Billboard World Albums Top 10, the only K-pop solo album in history to do that. That's not just impressive, that's legacy. Combined, Face and Muse give Jimin the kind of record no one in his position has ever touched before. 100 weeks total. A century of charting. But that's not all. His albums have hit #1 on the Billboard World Albums chart 13 times. 13. There are artists who spend their whole careers chasing one Billboard #1. Jimin did it 13 times, all while remaining soft-spoken, grounded, and never once compromising who he is. And it's not just about the charts, it's about what the music represents. Take the title track from Muse, Who? A song that doesn't scream for attention, but still, it's making waves. It's charting at #Mar 61 on the Global 200 and #40 on Global excluding US. Quiet, steady, powerful, just like him. In a world that often rewards noise, Jimin is proof that quiet strength can roar. His artistry isn't about chasing trends. It's about creating moments, healing, feeling, letting people know they're not alone. Every lyric he sings, every performance he gives, it feels intentional. Like he's handing you a piece of his heart and saying, "Here, maybe this will help." And honestly, for millions of people around the world, it has. This isn't just another chart update, it's a reminder that you can be gentle and still powerful, vulnerable and still unstoppable, that you can take your time, move at your own pace, and still make history. Jimin didn't rush to prove anything. He just quietly became everything. So as we sit here, watching him cross this 100-week milestone, one question lingers. If this is what Jimin has done with just 2 solo albums, can you even imagine what comes next? Because this doesn't feel like the end of something. It feels like the beginning of something much, much bigger. This isn't just a solo era, this is a Jimin era, and we're lucky to witness it.